Today I'm putting timing chains on a 2013 Mini Cooper. This is not a turbo or anything like that, it's just a regular base model. And I'm just explaining how this eccentric shaft works on these cars. It's the same as on a BMW. It's kind of an interesting setup. It has standard variable cam timing where it can move these things both directions. It's just the sprocket's just adjustable with these little solenoids that just feeds oil pressure one way or the other. But how this works is it varies the rocker ratio. It's kind of interesting how it does it. This eccentric shaft here, it's a it's just a solid steel shaft with some lobes on it. It looks a lot like a camshaft. There's one of the lobes. They're all the same. And then and over here it has a stepper motor with a worm gear that takes that shaft and rotates it. It looks like up to maybe 40 degrees or something like that. It's not probably exact, but around 40 degrees it looks like by the way the teeth are positioned. So it can take that and rotate it one way or the other. And what that does is there's an extra rocker in here. So here's your standard rocker down there. There's your hydraulic lifter. There's your valve. So that rocker is being pushed on by this other rocker. The other rocker, is being, one side of it's on the cam and the other side's on the eccentric shaft. So what that does is when it pushes on this, you can see the way that the one rocker is shaped. I'm trying to get in here. The way the one rocker is shaped, it's kind of hooked like that. So it goes up against the pivot in the middle of the rocker, and it changes the rocker ratio. So when you're pushing on the one side of the cam, the other side of it is can be rotated to change the position of the main the standard rocker in there that actually works. So you can see it's how it's curved, so it changes where just infinitely changes basically the rocker ratio depending on what the ECU wants it to do. So it changes lift and duration there. And the slack is taken up by the hydraulic lifter. It's a kind of a cool setup. I don't have too many problems with them. I've had some eccentric shaft faults and problems with them mechanically, but what it ends up being is the teeth actually wear out where it contacts the worm gear and it causes too much resistance and you have to replace it. But it's not very common. It only happens once in a while. So more on BMWs. But yeah, so that's kind of how it works. I'm not sure if that was the best explanation, but that's kind of a basic is my understanding of how this functions. So kind of overcomplicates it a little bit, but pretty simple how it's all done as far as a separate rocker that the separate rocker just influences the rocker ratio. So that's it. Pretty cool setup. So thanks for watching.